be accepted by people. What did we talk about last week? You remember? Built a big ark. Noah didn't care. They killed him. They did all kind of things. It took him 120 years. He built it anyway. Okay? It was more important for Noah to serve God and love God than to be accepted by people. Now, listen. Today, we're going to talk about, see if you can figure it out. We're talking about somebody who wasn't worried about being accepted by his friends, but he was kind of worried about being accepted by God. Now, he served God, but he was beginning to wonder if God was really loved him. Things were happening. I'll give you a hint. He was a very, very wealthy man. And this is taken probably from the oldest book of the Bible. The book that was first written.
Genesis.
No, that's the first book of the Bible. But they think this is the one that's the oldest. This was written before Genesis was written. Who wrote Genesis? God wrote Genesis using who? Starts with an M. Moses. Alright, this book was written before Moses wrote Genesis. Somebody said it a minute ago. Job! Very good! This talks about Job. Now, was Job a wealthy man?
Yes.
Oh! Was he ever? Let me read you something. This is what Job had. Now, why did he have it? God gave it to him, right? Everything we have comes from God. Now, listen what. You want me to read it off? Listen. 7,000 sheep. 7,000 sheep. That's not all. Listen. 3,000 camels. 3,000. 500 oxen. You know what oxen is? Yeah, it's kind of like a big cow. Yeah, listen. 500 donkeys. 500. What would you do with 500 donkeys? I don't know, but he had all of these animals. He was a wealthy man. He may have been the wealthiest man around. Had a big family, huge farm. He had to have all those animals, right? But then something very interesting happened. Guess who talked to God in heaven? Somebody that God made. Somebody that went against God. He was in heaven, but he got kicked out. Satan, listen, Satan had a conversation with God. Now, Satan was created by God, wasn't he? Is Satan controlled by God? Absolutely. Satan cannot do one thing to you or me or to anybody without the permission of God. So one day in heaven, Satan is there with some of his fallen angels. They're talking to God. God said, he was going to kind of check him out. God said, have you thought about Job? Because God knew that Satan, God knows everything Satan's going to do. He made him. He knows all about him. He knew he was here on earth trying to create trouble. And so God said, look, have you thought about Job? And Satan said, well, what about Job? He said, let me tell you what Job, would you like to be called? This is how God describes Job. Now listen, Job was blameless and upright, one who feared God and shunned evil. That's what God said about Job. In other words, God knew that Job really loved him. Okay? But now listen to what Satan said. Satan says, listen, you know why he loves you? Because you gave him all the stuff. Now, isn't that true in the world? I mean, sometimes you like somebody because they're nice to you. And if they stop being nice to you, you may not like them anymore. That means that your love for that person is conditional. Now listen, it means that you love them because they're doing something for you. And then when they stop doing it, sometimes you don't love them as much. That's the way the world is. So Satan is thinking like the world. He's not thinking like God. God says, let me tell you, Job loves me. I gave him a lot of things. But if you took those things away, Job is still going to love me. Satan says, I don't agree. Job only loves you because you gave him 500 donkeys and you did all this stuff. So what does God say? God said, all right, I tell you what. You work on Job. I'll give you permission to make Job's life miserable. You take from him these things, and I guarantee you, Job will still love me. Satan said, no, he won't. When those things leave, he will curse you. Very interesting. Now listen, so what happened? Now he said he gave one condition. He says, you can take his stuff, you can do all the things, his family, you can just create all kind of trouble, but you can't hurt him. You got to leave him alone. Okay?
Who says?
Don't hurt Job. God changes his mind on that, so you find out later. So what happens? All of a sudden these people start coming to Job. Guess what, Job? All those donkeys you had, boy, there came a terrific fire and just, it was terrible. They're all gone now. Oh, somebody came in. Oh, guess what, Job? You know that beautiful farm you have? It's all torn up. It's all gone. Okay? And one after another, all the things that God had blessed him with were taken away. Even his family, his children. Oh, there's a terrible accident, Job. You're not going to believe this. The house caved in. The people were just dying. We couldn't do anything about it. There were robbers that came by, took all of your things. All right? So what do you think Job said? And Job began to wonder. Wouldn't you wonder? Gosh, I serve God. Look at all this stuff that's happening to me. This is bad. And remember when I told you, and I love this verse, Preacher Matt mentioned it this morning from John 16:33. He says, when you have trouble, Jesus says, and you will, I've overcome the world. You don't have to worry. So listen to what Job said. And he's just lost everything. Everything. Okay? Listen to what he says. He says, and you're going to kind of laugh this part. It's got a little funny. Naked I came from my mother's womb. Or we say in the South, naked. Naked. Now what does naked mean?
No
clothes. All right, now listen. Job says, naked I came. In other words, he was born without anything. I want a show of hands of all of you who were born with clothes on. Okay? Wait a minute. You mean when you were born over in the hospital, you came out dressed?
No,
I don't think so.
No, she didn't.
Now, come on. Anybody have clothes on when they were delivered from your mama? No. You weren't. Now listen. All right, now listen. So Job said, listen to this. Naked I came from my mother's womb. Now what he's saying basically, when I was born, I had nothing. And that's true. Now your mom and dad had stuff, but when you came into this world, what did you have? You were naked as a jaybird. You didn't have anything. Who provided for you? Your parents did through God, because God gives us everything. All our provisions come from God. And listen to what he says after that. So naked I came into the world, and guess what? Naked I shall return there. So what Job is saying, look, I came in with nothing. I'm going home with nothing. Now, it's true when people die and they're buried, they have clothes on and all that. But basically, when you die and go to heaven, you don't take anything with you, do you? No, you know. As old Pastor Bucky says, there's not a U-Haul trailer behind any funeral procession. You don't take stuff with you. So what Job is saying, look, I came with nothing, I'll leave with nothing. So what he's saying is everything I have comes from God. Okay? Listen to what he says right after that. It's a great thing. The Lord gave and the Lord has taken away. In other words, everything I have comes from the Lord. And he decides when to give it, when to take it away. I don't have to worry about anything. I know he loves me. So when things are taken away, I'm not going to get so upset. And see, Satan didn't want to hear these words. And listen to the final one. Boy, this is the killer. And blessed be the name of the Lord. So he said, look, Lord takes it, Lord gives it, takes it, but you know what? I still love him. Blessed be God, because everything I have comes from him. So now Satan's saying, wow, we've done all this stuff to Job, and he's still praising the Lord. And see, what Satan was hoping is that Job was just like we tend to be. Our love depends on what we have, and if we don't have it, sometimes our love is not as great. But God, listen, loves you unconditionally. If you never remember anything I say up here, remember this: Jesus loves you